In this video, I'm going to share with you a method that involves a trading robot and one indicator, and this method, when combined, allows us to make more than 90% profitable trades. But first, we need to understand how it all works, so let's get started with this method. I'm going to show you everything in detail now, and you'll be able to repeat this method yourself after just a few days of practice. Let's go! For example, let's take the British pound / Canadian dollar pair and open our first trade for $700. To do this, I go to the booster bot, select this pair, and set the trade time to 1 minute. Now I just wait for the signal. What's happening here? The bot gives me a sell signal, but as we can see here, what's going on? Our RSI indicator is in the lower zone, so I skip this signal. It's not very safe, even though the robot analyzed this trade. And later in this video, I'll show you why this is an unsafe zone, how to set up the safest zone where we'll open trades, and how to configure this indicator. Here's another example, Australian dollar to Canadian dollar. I get a signal for this currency pair. I choose 1 minute as the trade duration. I get a buy signal and open a buy trade right from here. That's because the RSI indicator value is currently within the working range. So where do we open trades? We open trades when the value is between 70 and 30. This exact range is considered the safe zone. Right here, we can confidently open trades. But if the price goes below 30 or above 70, we don't open our trades. Yes, even if the bot has analyzed them, it's still a very risky zone because at those moments the price is usually extremely overbought, overheated, or on the contrary, oversold. Accordingly, this means that a very strong impulse is likely to follow. We can see this from historical data. Later in this video, I'll show you clearly how this works and what this indicator is responsible for, and you'll understand the most important thing, the logic behind this indicator, which will help you close your trades in profit. This trade closes in profit and brings me $602. Not bad. All because the RSI indicator was in the middle, showing that the market was currently balanced. Now let's talk about which situations you should skip and which ones you can actually trade. By the way, I want to remind you that if you want to trade safely and just copy signals, then our elite membership is available to you. You can join by messaging our support team with the phrase, "I want to become an elite member." Our team, our managers, who are professional traders, will add you to our group and you'll be able to copy our signals. Since we have 11 professional traders who are actively trading and sharing their experience with you, we have the opportunity to provide you with our signals. The team starts a trading session, opens the market, and begins their analysis. And accordingly, you have the opportunity to simply join in on this analysis and copy the professional signals. In short, I'll leave a link to the support account in the description. Be sure to check it out and copy our signals. You can really make a good profit from them. But let's move on. Look, when you see a situation like this in the market, when the RSI indicator goes above 70 or below 30, you can notice a certain pattern. At any moment, an impulse like this can shoot out from that area, just like it did here. The RSI indicator is showing us that the market is currently overbought. Here, if we look at the market, we see a strong impulse happening. No one is protected from such strong impulses, not professional traders, not trading bots, because they happen in the moment when buyers or sellers go overboard. What can we do at this moment? All we can do is look at the RSI indicator, which shows us overbought and oversold conditions, and base our decisions on that. If your RSI indicator value is in the middle, then you can work calmly. Is the market stable? That means the booster bot is doing its analysis correctly. But if your price goes above or below, there are very big risks. Even considering that the booster bot will do the right analysis, no one is protected from a strong impulse. That's why it's better to stay away from such impulses. Now, let's look at another practical example. The currency pair is British pound to US dollar. I'm selecting it in the booster bot. I choose the trade duration, 1 minute. And I get a sell signal. And right from here, I open my sell trade for 1 minute. So here, we can observe the same situation. The fact that our RSI is within the working range. We can even see from the chart that it's moving steadily. But there was a moment, right here, the price entered the oversold zone. And we immediately saw the market react. That is, indeed, our market has a very strong influence on such peak moments. When the RSI is in the middle zone, the market moves calmly, and we can do our analysis without stress, which leads to profit. I recommend you start working with this indicator carefully right away. This is a really great indicator, even for any strategy, for trading robots, and even for signals. So if you're trading in our elite membership, you can use the RSI indicator to find the very best entry points. It's truly a very simple, yet extremely useful indicator. Once you understand how it works, if you're just starting to trade and getting used to the booster bot, then I highly recommend using the RSI. How do you add it? You need to go to the Indicators tab, and you'll find RSI at the bottom right. Add it, and then set the period to 10. That's all you need to set up. But you can also set the line thickness to 2 points, just so it's easier to see. Now let's look at a final example, and I'll open my trade for $1,400. I want to make my final trade on the pound sterling to Japanese yen currency pair. I go to the booster bot, select this currency pair, and set the trade time to 1 minute. And I get a buy signal. And right from here, I open a buy trade. Let's see what's happening now. The RSI indicator is between 50 and 30. So, this is a good entry point for the trade. Let's keep watching. The market is very calm and very predictable at this moment. So, we can conclude that it's safe to open a trade right now. And right away, on this same currency pair, we see an example. As soon as the RSI indicator dipped into the oversold zone, just below 30, there was an immediate sharp impulse, so the market reacts instantly. Here's another example. The price enters the overbought zone, and again, the market immediately gives a sharp impulse. That's why you always need to be careful at such moments. In these situations, analysis doesn't work very well, and it's really the logic of big money that comes into play. That's why no one knows when a big player will come in and crash the whole market, so you need to be careful at those times. As you can see, I'm making $1,200, and we end up with a pretty basic and simple strategy using just one indicator. So, if you want to do the same, then follow the link in the description to activate the booster bot, use it with the RSI indicator, and, accordingly, replicate these exact results. If you have any questions or want to copy our signals, just message our support account. The team there will help you out and answer all your questions. I'll say goodbye now. See you soon!